Listen to this simple sentence. We visited a village. It's okay. It's correct. But it's boring. It doesn't create a picture in your mind. Now, listen to this. We visited a village where the people are known for their hospitality. Suddenly, you can almost feel the place, right? You can imagine the friendly, smiling faces. That extra detail, that magic, is created by an adjective clause. It is the special tool that writers, storytellers, and natural speakers use to paint vivid pictures in the listener's mind. And today, you are going to learn how to use it. Welcome back to our advanced series, English Grammar Unlocked. I'm your host, Scarlett. Today, we are learning how to make our descriptions richer, more detailed, and more beautiful using adjective clauses. In this episode, we will turn a grammar lesson into an unforgettable journey. First, we will join a travel blogger as he explores a mysterious and beautiful village, seeing how where and when can bring a story to life. Second, we will master 10 essential vocabulary words for travel and description. And finally, for our language focus, we will break down the simple rules for using adjective clauses of place and time with confidence. Now, are you ready for an adventure? First, let's figure out how we can describe a place without starting a completely new sentence. The secret is a small word that connects a location to an action or a feeling. Let's travel with our blogger, Finn, to the hidden village of Silverstream to see how it's done. Part 1. Describing the place. Adjective clauses with where. Our story today comes from the travel journal of a writer named Finn. He has just arrived in a remote, picturesque village hidden in the mountains. He sits down at a small cafe to write about his first impressions. He writes, "Yesterday, I finally arrived in Silverstream. It is a village where time seems to stop. The modern world feels a million miles away. I found a small, cozy guest house. It's the building where I am staying for the week. The guest house has a beautiful garden, a perfect spot where I can read and write. This morning, I explored the town center. My favorite place is the local market. The market is a busy, colorful space where local artisans sell their handmade crafts. I bought a beautiful wooden bird, a souvenir from a shop where an old man was carving wood." Let's pause Finn's story for a moment. All of those bolded phrases are adjective clauses. An adjective clause is a group of words that acts like an adjective. Its job is to describe or give more information about a noun. In this part, we are focusing on adjective clauses that start with the word where. We use where to give more information about a place. The noun is a location, like a village, a building, a spot, a space, or a shop. The structure is simple. Place plus where, plus subject plus verb. This is a much more elegant and fluent way to add information. Instead of saying, "I am staying in a guest house," the guest house has a garden. Finn connects these ideas into one smooth sentence. I am staying in the guest house, where there is a beautiful garden. It connects the location to the description or action happening in that location. We now know how to describe places with more detail. But what about moments in time? How do we capture the feeling of a specific, memorable moment? For that, we need a different key to unlock our descriptions. Part 2. Describing the moment. Adjective clauses with when. Let's return to Finn's travel journal. He is now writing about his first evening in the village. A truly magical experience. He writes, "The late afternoon was a time when the village became very quiet. The farmers had returned from the fields, and the shops had closed for the day. I walked to a small hill overlooking the valley. I will never forget the moment when the sun set behind the mountains. The sky was filled with colors of orange, pink, and purple. It was a moment when I felt completely at peace. The evening was the time when all the local families gathered in the main square. Children were playing, and older people were talking and laughing. 1989 was the year when the village first got electricity. But the nights here still feel ancient and timeless. It was a perfect evening, a time when I knew I had found a very special place." Let's pause our story one last time. Finn is now using adjective clauses that start with the word when. We use when to give more information about a time. The noun is a time word, like a time, the moment, the evening, the year, or a day. The structure is the same as before. Time plus when plus subject plus verb. Just like where connects us to a place, when connects us to a moment, it allows us to describe what happened at that time, or how we felt at that time, all within one smooth descriptive sentence. Instead of saying, "I will never forget the sunset behind the mountains then," Finn combines them beautifully. "I will never forget the moment when the sun set behind the mountains." We've traveled to the village with Finn and felt the magic of the sunset. Now, are you ready to become a grammar expert? Let's analyze the tools that our travel blogger used to create such beautiful images with his words. Part 3. Language focus. First, let's master our 10 new vocabulary words for today's journey. Our first phrase is adjective clause. An adjective clause is a group of words that describes a noun, often starting with words like who, which, where, or when. For example, today's entire lesson is about adjective clauses. Our second word is to describe. To describe means to say or write what someone or something is like. For example, travel bloggers use adjective clauses to describe places vividly. Another example is, "Can you describe your best friend to me?" Our third word is location. A location is a particular place or position. For example, we use the word where in an adjective clause to describe a location. Another example is, "This is a beautiful location for a picnic." Next, we have moment. A moment is a very short period of time. For example, we use the word when to describe a specific moment in time. Another example is, "It was a moment I will never forget." Our fifth word is scenery. Scenery is the beautiful natural features of a place, like mountains, forests, and rivers. For example, the mountain scenery was breathtaking. Another example is, I love to paint pictures of natural scenery. The sixth word is hospitable. Hospitable means friendly, welcoming, and generous to visitors or guests. For example, the villagers were very hospitable to the travelers. Another example is, she is known for being a very hospitable host. Our seventh word is memorable. Memorable means worth remembering or easy to remember because it is special. For example, the sunset was a truly memorable moment. Another example is, our family trip to the beach was very memorable. Next, we have atmosphere. The atmosphere of a place is the mood or feeling it has. For example, the village had a very peaceful and calm atmosphere. Another example is, the restaurant has a romantic atmosphere. Our ninth word is picturesque. Picturesque means visually attractive, in a pretty and charming way, like a picture. For example, we took a photo of the picturesque little village. Another example is, the view from our hotel room was very picturesque. And our final word is vivid. Vivid means producing very clear, powerful, and detailed images in the mind. For example, good writers use adjective clauses to create vivid descriptions. Another example is, I have a very vivid memory of my first day of school. Now for our grammar focus. Adjective clauses with where and when. Let's make this very simple. These clauses add extra information to a noun. We use an adjective clause, starting with where to describe a place noun. The house where I grew up is now a museum. The house is a place. We use an adjective clause starting with when to describe a time noun. I remember the day when we first met. The day is a time. It is important to notice that these clauses often act like the non-defining relative clauses we learned about before. If the noun is specific, like Paris or my birthday, we use a comma before the clause. For example, I love summer. When the days are long and sunny, you have the theory. Now it's time to become a travel writer yourself. How can you practice painting pictures with your words? Here are your practice tips. Part 4. Practice tips for the 4 skills. For listening, find a short travel documentary or a vlog on YouTube. As you listen to the narrator describe the places they visit and the experiences they have, pay close attention to sentences that use where and when. For speaking, describe your hometown to your AI tutor using your voice. Your challenge is to use at least one adjective clause with where. For example, I grew up in a small town where everyone knows each other. For reading, find a travel blog online about a place you would love to visit. Read the article and highlight all the adjective clauses you can find that start with where and when. Notice how they add rich detail to the descriptions. And for writing, this is a wonderful exercise for your journal. Write about a memorable day in your life. It could be a holiday, a celebration, or just a simple happy day. Your challenge is to use at least one adjective clause with when to describe it. For example, I'll never forget my last birthday. It was a day when all my friends came to celebrate with me. Part 5. Your next action. Today, you have learned how to do more than just name places and times. You can now describe them. You can bring them to life with detail and emotion. You can use adjective clauses to paint vivid pictures with your words, making your English more beautiful, more detailed, and much more interesting. As we conclude, let's quickly summarize our journey today. First, we followed the story of Finn the travel blogger and learned that adjective clauses with where describe places. Second, we saw how adjective clauses with when describe moments in time. We also learned 10 essential vocabulary words for this topic. As a review, those words were adjective clause, to describe, location, moment, scenery, hospitable, memorable, atmosphere, picturesque, and vivid. Now, I have a final question for you. Describe a place you love using an adjective clause with where. For example, my favorite cafe is a place where they play great music. Let's practice painting pictures with our words in the comments section below. If you are committed to making this mindset a part of your life, show your energy by smashing that like button. Be a hero for a friend. By sharing this video with someone you know who loves to travel and tell stories. And to lock in your commitment to learning, subscribe and smash that notification bell so you don't miss our next workout. Remember, every place has a story and every moment has a memory. Now you have the tools to share them. Until next time, take care and happy learning.